Hi, Ellie here from the Dark Imp, helping parents to reclaim family time by playing board games together. Last year I did my top 10 games of the year. I usually get to play new games at conventions, but sadly almost all of the conventions have been cancelled this year, so I haven't had the opportunity to play nearly as many new games as I have in previous years. So I've cut it down. I'm doing my top 5 games of the year. And here's an early warning. Number 5 is cheat. At number 5, it's QE. Now, QE is a cheat because it actually came out in 2019, though I've only just managed to get my hands on a copy. I have been trying for a little while, actually. In QE, each player represents a country or group of countries. So you could be the USA or you could be the European Union. And the idea is that you're buying up companies that are in trouble but deemed too big to fail. Now, as you are a nation, you have the ability to print money. So you don't have any pot that you're bidding from. You can just bid as much as you want for each of these companies. So this is an auction game. Each turn, you're writing down how much you're prepared to spend on the company that's up for grabs, and the person who bids the most gets it. So you can pay as much as you want. But at the end of the game, the person who has spent the most money is out. I keep spending the most money. I need to practice a bit more, I think. So the idea is to get the most points, which you do by getting certain combinations of companies or buying companies that are your home nation companies. That's QE. At number 4, Atheneum, Mystic Library. Atheneum is a brilliant family game. I really, really like it. The idea is that you are students in a magical school. It's quite Harry Potter-esque. And your job is to put all the books back on the library shelves, on the bookcases. And so there's these piles of different books, and each book is different. And they're really beautiful. I mean, they've got different names. They're very cool. And they're in 5 different categories. And you have to put the books back on the shelves, so you've got your own bookcase. And so this is a game where everybody plays at the same time. It's a simultaneous play game. You're going to draft a card. So you're going to choose a card and play it. And you get a benefit from the card you play. You play a card at the same time as everybody else plays a card. But also on your card, there's a benefit for the player on your left and a benefit for the player on your right. So everyone gets good stuff from all sorts of areas. You get good stuff from your own card, you get good stuff from the left and good stuff from the right. There's no negatives that are coming out in this game. There are different objectives that you're trying to meet, but these objectives sort of move along a tableau and they'll fall off. So at the end of each turn, one of the objectives will go away. So you're trying to complete these objectives before they disappear. And everybody can complete them. It's a really lovely family game because there's no conflict and the theme is so magical. That's Atheneum, Mystic Library. Number 3, Hues and Cues. Now, the Hues and Cues board is enormous. It folds out, I think, 6 times, and it takes up a whole of a table. And it's pretty much what you can see on the front here. It's lots of different swatches of colour. And there are actually 480 different colour boxes. And as you can see on the front cover, some of these colours are very similar. You know, the colours next to each other are really similar. On your turn, you're looking at, there's a deck of cards in there, and each card has 4 different colours on. And you're going to choose one of those colours to be your target colour. And you're going to give a word, not the name of a colour, to describe this shade that's on your card. So you might say fire, or you might say blueberry, or you might say envy. And everybody else, all the other players, have to select the colour. They're going to put their little pawn on the colour, on the little square that they think represents that colour. And of course, you're trying to get as close as possible to the colour that the person was actually aiming for. And you get points for doing so. It's quite a riot, actually. It's a really lovely family game. It's quick moving. You can drop in and drop out. You can play it with scores or you don't have to. It plays up to 10 players, so you can play with bigger groups. And the discussions that you have about the colours that people have selected are quite funny. So this is a great game for a family, Hues and Cues. At number 4, Iwari. Iwari is an area control game. Now, I like it because it's simple to understand how to play in the first place, but it's actually really challenging to win. There are lots of decision points and lots of choices as you go through the game. The board, which is a double-sided board, has got different terrains, 5 different terrain types, split into different territories. And there's a deck of cards which also show the 5 terrain types. And you're going to start each of your turns with 3 cards. On your turn, you're going to play 1 or more cards to enable you to put 1 or 2 pieces in one single terrain. Now, you've got tents that you can place in the terrain on tent marker spots, and you've got totem sections. This is a really gorgeous game. All these components are beautiful. The artwork is beautiful. And so on your turn, you're placing 1 or 2 components in one area on the board. But the thing that's really interesting about this game is the way it scores. There are 3 different ways of scoring. Tents, you score settlements, you score totems, and you score based on the number you've got within a region of tents, but you also score based on the connections between your totems. If you've got a majority of the number of totems in 2 connecting regions, you're going to score. But one of the really lovely things about this is that your score will depend on what other people have done in the game. And this kind of interaction makes you second guess all of your moves and makes you inadvertently help your opponents. It's a great game, Iwari. And at number 1, Praga, Caput, Regni. Now, this is quite a big game. It's a big box. It's a heavy box. I'll just hold it down here a bit. And it can look a bit frightening. When you open the box in the first time, there's a lot of components. It feels like it's going to take ages to learn and set up. And it does. The first time when you're getting it out and you're just kind of overwhelmed with pieces, that's going to take a little bit of time to get to know it. But it's worth it. It's actually much more straightforward than it first appears. There are 6 possible actions you can take each turn, and you're taking tiles from a sort of spinning wheel, which is a mechanical thing. And each turn you move the wheel, which changes the cost or benefit that you get from selecting the actions. Your aim is to rebuild Prague. You're rich citizens trying to gather the favour of the King of Bohemia. But there are lots of different projects that are happening concurrently. You can work on the university, you can work on the King's Road, you can work on rebuilding the city, the old town and the new town. You can construct city walls, you can work on the Hunger Wall. There are all sorts of different things you can do. And they relate to the different actions you can take. You can also upgrade your actions so that you get benefits. Now, the way that all these different actions work together is a delight. To really get your points out of the cathedral, for example, you're going to have to build stuff in the town. And you're going to have to build walls. And so it all slots together really nicely. Plus, there are these gorgeous player boards where you've got your own spinning wheel, which measures your stone and your gold, which are the resources in the game. It's a big game. It's not the first game to choose if you're quite new to board gaming, but it's a really lovely one. If you've got a board game family that's looking for something a bit more meaty, I recommend Praga, Caput, Regni, my number 1 for 2020.